Hello. Hi everyone. I am audible. Please speak in the chat. Let's do wait for 2-3 minutes for everyone, and then we will start. I haven't started the session, that's why I'm on mute. We are waiting for some more people. Once all the join, we will start. Just wait for 2 minutes. Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. I am audible. Please speak in the chat. Okay, perfect. So I think most of you have already joined. So that's we are good in numbers. So I hope you all are aware of today's agenda, like what is the today's we are going to discuss in today's session. Let me know in the chat. Yes, project discussion. How many of you have done a project in data science? Did you done any practice project or just an idea like how to approach a project, data science project? Okay, so like most of people doesn't have a actual where like I'm getting no as a response. Like most of you haven't done any project. So okay, so there is no problem. In today's session, I'll give you the like standard way how to approach a data science project. I'll not let you know exactly code of every line by line, or I would say like every step, but I'll give you the standard way of approaching any kind of a data science project. Like what are the steps involved in data science project. So this is the main agenda of today's project, and like you will get a clear picture of whenever you will get any kind of a project in data science. So you will be able to handle that project by yourself. In upcoming days you will get a practice project, or I would say a project. You will be involved in a project. So for that purpose I'm going to tell you like how to handle the project. So shall we start? Just let me know in the chat. Okay, sounds perfect. Okay, most of you are excited. Perfect. I'm just going to share my screen in 1 or 2 minutes, and I request all of you, if you have any kind of a doubt, I'll give you a time to ask all the doubts. Uh, Whenever I'm speaking, I request you just listen me like whatever I'm saying. So then your doubts will be clear. If still you have any kind of a doubt, so I will try to resolve all kind of a doubt related to this particular project. And this is the way of this project discussion today. I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know in the chat. Is the screen visible? Okay, perfect. Okay. So today's project is related to a classification. So as you must be aware, we have a two kind of a problem, majorly two kind of a problem in supervised learning. One is classification and second is regression. So I hope you all are aware about classification. And specifically in classification, we are going to analyze or doing a prediction related to a churn. Do you have any idea like what is churn analysis or churn prediction? Okay. So if you do not have any idea related to churn means is let's suppose you are using any kind of a services or subscription, like it could be a mobile subscription, it could be an internet subscription, it could be a OTT subscription, or any kind of a store you are using, or Reliance or any kind of a store. So if you will stop using the services from those vendors, so this called a churn. Let's suppose you are using Airtel prepaid kind of a Airtel prepaid services, and you want to switch from Airtel to Geo. So you are churning that particular vendor or a company or a subscription. So this called a churn. So, being a business or being a owner of a business, I want to keep all existing customer in my business. I don't want uh, I don't want some customer leave our services in middle of subscription or middle of services. So this impact a huge losses in business. Okay. So, am I audible clearly? Just let me know in the chat. His voice is clear. Okay. So, yeah, most of you are getting a good, good audible. If any of you is getting some trouble, so that means you have a internet issue. So kindly check your internet. So today's agenda is related to this churn analysis. So this project is related to a telecom related. So let's suppose you are using a Airtel fiber. Okay. So inside that Airtel fiber, you get internet, you get like a landline as well service, and apart from this, you get a TV DTH service as well as you get a OTT subscription. So you get these kind of services there. So this project is related to specifically related to this domain. So this is the domain of the project, telecommunication custom churn. Now let me show you the data set. So this is the data set in which we have a customer ID, gender, whether the customer is senior citizen or does they have any partner or like do they have any dependence on like owner of the subscription. So these kind of like data we have is like till now. Do you have any like any problem or any issue or any gap in understanding what is churn? So please let me know in the chat. Okay. All clear. Okay, so I'm getting a most of response as a all clear. So I hope everything is cleared till now. Okay, okay. So I received one response as a repeat. Okay, so let me repeat again. So let's suppose you are using a Airtel services as a fiber optical in a mode of optic or fiber optic. So there you use several services related to that particular fiber services. There is the internet. There is a there is internet. There is a, DTH services, OTT services. There is landline services. And let's suppose you are not happy with those services or you want to like leave that particular services. So this called as a churn. You have left that particular service that become a churn. So this is the meaning of churn. Being a owner of a business, I want I don't want my customers leaves my services. So we need to analyze like these type of customers who are not happy with us or who want to leave our services. So if I'll get to know like what kind of customers are not happy with our services or they will stop using these services. So I need to stop those customers. So this is the main agenda of churn. So I hope now it's clear. So in this specific project, our objective is same. Like this project is or this data set is related to the telecom customer churn. So in this, we are going to predict which like how many of the customers will be like stop using the services of this particular telecommunication company, or they will be us with after like after some time, or they will leave. So this is the objective of the project. So to achieve this, we have this data. There we have approximately 21 rows. So one by one, I will explain you what is the meaning of each columns or each feature. So if you'll see there in the last of the column, we have a churn. If customer did a churn, there is a yes. If customer is still with us, so there is no. Yes as a one, yeah, they churn. No meaning they are still using the services of our telecom services. So to achieve this, like whenever you have any kind of a data science project, so first thing is you need to understand the business domain. Like without understanding of the business domain, you cannot do like you cannot solve a data science project, or you cannot achieve what you want to achieve. So first thing is, you should have a good understanding of project, or you should have a good understanding of business domain. So this particular project is related to telecommunication, telecom. So there you should have at least a good knowledge, like what is the what is the meaning of turnover, or phone services, or how the telecom industry works. So you should have these basic understanding of the domain knowledge. So after once you have the basic understanding of a project, once you know like what kind of a project is this, and once you have all the understanding, then you will jump into the features. You will try to analyze, you will try to understand each and every feature in your data set. If you have a like a good amount of a feature, then it is good. Otherwise like it's little bit difficult to achieve the objective. So first thing is analyze the all the features, or try to understand the meaning of all the features. So I'm going to explain one by one. Before that, just showing you like how many what is the shape of the data set is here, and like how the data is looking, and what kind of a feature do we have here. So to do this, let me show you from here. So as you can see, so this is the head of dataset. There we have a customer ID, gender, senior, whether the customer is senior citizen or not, and do they have any partner or dependents, or tenure. Tenure means since when the customer is using our services. So like I'm going to explain every feature one by one. But before that, I would like to show you what kind of a like what is the tail of the feature is there, and then there is the column. So whenever you have a project, so first analyze your every column. So there is a citizen, like whether the customer is a senior citizen or not. So if the customer is senior citizen, there you will get a as a like 1 or 0. Whether customer have a partner or not, so there is yes and no, or there is any dependent, there is yes and no. Like dependence is like they have a child, or they have a parent, parents. So this kind of information is there in 10 hours since when the customer is using our services. Like this value is in term of like months, like since like how many months customer is using the services. Then phone services, like with internet services, does customer use phone services as well? So there is value in yes and no. Then multi-line services, does the customer use DTH service, OTT service, or like internet service or phone service? If customer is using all the service, all multi-line services, there is yes. Otherwise, there is no. And apart from yes and no, there is one more category, which is no phone services. If customer is not using a phone services, then no phone services. Then next feature is internet services. So in internet, if you see there, let me show you what we have in internet services. I will share you the CSV file and the objective. Everything will be shared with you. So do not worry about these basic kind of a things. Okay. This is a practice project, just to let you know how to approach a data science project. So if you see in the internet services, we have fiber optic, DSL, and loop. So I hope you all are aware of what is fiber optic. So in fiber optic internet services, we receive the wire to get internet. But in DSL, what happens? Like it's a advanced technique to get like internet. So there you receive the high speed internet. So if a customer is using a DSL service, so there is a DSL service. If customer is using fiber optic, so there is a fiber optic. If customer is not using a internet services, so there is no. Then online security, so there is a yes and no whether the customer is using online security. Like do you have any kind of do you have any idea what is online security? Just let me know in the chat. Okay, so online security is kind of a security where customer is using VPN kind of a security. So this is just a basic example of like VPN is a basic example of online security. Or so if customer is using any kind of a security, so there is yes, otherwise there is no. Okay. So next is phone services, multi-line services. Okay, online and online backup. So if customer is using online backup kind of a facility, so there is yes, otherwise there is no. And if like it's by seeing just it's making a sense. If customer is not using internet services, so definitely it will not use a online backup services. Then the device protection services. To use internet, we all have to use some devices like a router or LAN cable or other kind of internet resources. So this is related to this. Then there is a tech support. So whenever customer face any kind of issue, so they call to the customer care to related that particular issue. So this is related to that, the tech, whether the customer has opted a tech support or not. Then there is a streaming TV. Does customer use a TV or DTH services? So there is that option as well. Then streaming movie. So it's kind of OTT platform, you can say, but not exactly OTT. Then contract. This is interesting. Let me show you. Okay. So like it's the contract tenure, like whether it is a 1 year contract or it is a 2 year contract or does the customer pay monthly. So this is related to that 1 year, 2 year or month to month. Then there is a how customer pay their bills. Sorry, paperless bills. If customer is paying online, then there is yes. Otherwise, there is no. Then payment method. In the payment method, there are the way of paying the bills like online, credit card, bank transfer, mail, check, or electronic check. Then monthly charges. Like what are the monthly charges customer receive of their services. So definitely charges will be in terms of values or in terms of continuous values like $60, $50, $40 or something like this. Then the total charges. So like when you use any kind of prepaid or postpaid, like specifically postpaid services. So what happens there? Like there you can instead of paying whole bill, you can pay some specific or minimum amount due as well. So this is related to this, like what is the total charge of the services to the customer. So this is related to this. Then in the last we have our target variable or a target feature. So there we have whether the customer churn or not. So after seeing this particular, like now you have a understanding of the data. Do you have? Just let me know in the chat. Since we all are using these kind of a services, so I hope domain is not affecting you. Otherwise, let's suppose if you have any very new kind of a very new kind of a domain project, so there you face little bit challenges. So you have to deal first the domain knowledge. So yes, you already know about the domain, so that's why you are relating everything. Like what is the streaming movie and online backup and device protection. So yes, okay. So now let's start from the EDA. So once you receive the data set, so you check like what is the shape of the data set. So here we have 7,000 records, more than 7,000 of records in terms of row. In terms of column, you have 21 columns, including customer ID and the target variable. Okay, so once you have checked the data frame shape, then you try to remove the duplicates from the data set. So if there is a duplicacy, I don't understand the domain. Okay, so domain is related to like you all are using internet services or phone services. So this is related to a telecom. Telecom is like a where you use the phone services or internet services. Okay, so after removing the duplicates from the data, then you will check the like data types of each and every column. So using df.info, you can print all the data types. So if you'll see customer ID in the object, gender in object, senior citizen in integer. So yes, because there is a 0 and 1, so definitely it will be in integer. Partner, whether the partner, yeah, there is a value in yes and no, so that's why you are getting an object, a dependence in an object. Tenure, since when customer is using, this is the like integer value in terms of month, so that's why there is an integer and there is an object. Yeah, yes, definitely, since we have a yes and no, so there would be a object values. But in the last, if you will see, monthly charges are in float. So yes, because some customers could have charges in like $5.6 or $10.5 or $20.6, so that's why we have a float here. But if you will see in the total charges, we are getting values in object. So do you know why we are getting values in object? It should be in integer. Charges like monthly charges in like currency cannot be an object. So this is the like human error or yes, this value we need to convert into integer or a float, because it's a human error. So these kind of information is important for us. Like first we need to analyze why there is like why it is in object or why it is in float or why it is in integer. Now in the last you have a chunk, so yeah, it is in object, so that's looking fine. Okay, then after drop since we have a customer ID, so customer ID is not it will not give any information to us it's just a unique value for each customer, so definitely there is no reason to use customer ID, so we can drop that customer ID from the data set. I hope you all are aware why we are dropping customer ID. If we have 7,000 or 10,000 customer in the data set, so customer ID will be definitely unique for each customer. I will let you know in the last all the steps. Like I'll write separately what are the steps involved to handle a data science project, so I'll explain all the things, so do not worry about that. Okay, So, okay, explain about x is equals to 0. So, whenever you have a let me show you in very basic basic terms. So, in terms of machine, in terms like you cannot explain machine textual things. You have to tell them into a numbers. So columns are represent by a 1 and rows are represented by a 0. So whenever you want to apply any kind of operation on the column, so there you use a 1, or whenever you want to apply some kind of operation on the rows, so there you use 0. So this is the reason we are dropping the column, so that's why we have used x is equals to 1. Now let's check how many objects are present in the or object or I would say categorical data in data frame, or and how many continuous or floating or integer uh, features we have in the data sets. To check this, this is very simple code. Just I'm using a for loop, like I have created a variable and I'm iterating through every index, and if there is a object in the data types of that particular feature, so I am appending that particular object or put that particular feature in categorical columns, and similarly in the numerical column. So in numerical, we have two things. One is float and second is integer. So that's why I have used both the things. Whether I have a float, I'm appending that particular column in numerical columns, or I have any kind of a integer, so I'm applying that particular, I'm appending that particular column in numerical column. Okay, so once I have that information, so we need to handle some missing values. So we are checking whether there is any missing value or not. So df.isNull.sum, by this particular code, you will be able to know like whether is a missing value or not. So let's suppose now we do not have any kind of a missing values there. But let's suppose if you have a missing values, then what will you do? I just want to know, like, what are the approaches we have to handle a missing values? Imputation, yeah, it's imputation is a technique. Like, what kind of a technique? What kind of imputation we have? I just want to know the name. Yes. Okay, I'm getting drop any, mean, median, mode, average. Okay. Okay. So yes, you all are right, but like blindly we cannot follow any kind of approach. So it's again up to a domain knowledge. Like if as per the domain knowledge, you are thinking you will impute missing values by mean or median or mode. So it's completely up to a domain knowledge. You cannot fill missing values blindly just like by it's it's not kind of a thing like I want to fill missing values by mean, so I will fill by mean. So it's not, it doesn't work like this. It's up to a missing value. Missing values up to uh, let's suppose you have a missing values in total charges. So can anyone let me know like what could be the reason or what we will fill in the total charges? Hypothetically, imagine you have a missing values in the total charges. Can anyone let me know? Okay, so I am getting an answer as mean, median, mode. Okay, no. So let's suppose you have a mean, if you have a missing values in your total charges, so there could be a reason customer is paying all the past bills. So that's why they do not have any pending balance. Am I right? If we do not have any total charges, so that means customer paid all the bills in the past. Customer is paying every month whole bill. Is it making sense? Then what should be the value there? Yes, zero. I got like what I wanted to hear. Okay, yes, zero. So if you will replace there by mean median mode, so you are saying that particular customer, you have that particular amount is balanced. Let's suppose you are getting a mean of that particular column is 50. So you are saying that particular customer, you have a $50 dollar pay outstanding balance, which is completely like wrong. So this is the reason like we never we shouldn't uh, blindly follow the mean median kind of a technique. We have to think like differently. What could be the reason there? I hope this kind of a I hope I have convey what I wanted to convey. Yes, it depends on what kind of a missing value is this. It depends on what kind of a missing values we have. If we have a let's suppose let me okay, so let's suppose if you have a missing values in dependents column, what could be the reason of there? If we have a missing values in dependents, there is no dependent, no children, no parents. Person is living like alone. So if person is he or she is alone, so why there would be any dependent? So this is this is the reason like you should have a good domain knowledge. Okay, now okay. So now comes to the next point. We will describe the feature like what is the mean median mode is there. So like there is no point to describe here since most of the feature we have related to categorical data categorical feature. So we cannot use describe function on categorical data. So there is no point. So either you can skip that particular line because you have two or three features related to continuous. But yes, you will definitely you will get some information related to two or three continuous features. Guys, there could be like n number of a reason why there is a missing values. So it could be a human error, it could be any kind of error. So whenever you deal these kind of a project in real life, so there you have to discuss with the client or business expert. So why there are missing values, why there is none, why there is spaces in the data. So first you have to understand all the kind of relations. Will show only numeric data. Yes, describe function just works on a continuous kind of a or a numerical features. Okay. So this is uh, next is this is kind of a describe function where you will get mean median mode kind of things for every kind of every feature. So in gender there are two unique values, male or female. Then there is a senior citizens. In senior citizens should be yes and no, but since we have in terms of 1 and 0, so that's why we are getting a mean of that particular value and the standard deviation and then maximum value and the minimum value. So there is I hope there is nothing to explain. You all are must be aware of the describe function. Okay. So now let's come to the next point. The next line is saying what how many unique values are in every column or every feature. So in gender we have two partner, two dependents, two turnover have 73. Why is turnover have 73? Because we have 73. We have there is a month. So this is not a good to apply a unique value on turnover since turnover is a continuous feature of numerical feature. So this is how you will get to know like how many unique values are there. The next uh, in the next, what I'm doing, I'm checking like value counts on each and every column. So in the gender, where like like male and female proportion is same. The male and female ratio is same in gender. Then there is a partner. In partner as well, there is a same approach, same proportion. Sorry. Then in dependence there is like significant gap. So this is how you will get to know like in each and every column what is the value count. Okay. Now, if you'll see, as I mentioned earlier, total charges was in categorical or object format. So this particular thing we need to handle. So I am handling that kind, like if you'll see, there is a some spaces in total charges. So what I am doing, I am replacing those blank space by a np.nan, like a nan. And after replacing spaces by a nan, so now I am able to get a nan values in total charges. So after this, I need to change total charges into float or integer. Total charges could have value in the float, so that's why I am using as type as float. I hope this is clear. Then I am replacing by mean, which is not completely correct. So I recommend you, instead of replacing by mean, replace nan values by zero. Okay. So till here, I hope everything is clear. Just let me know if you have any doubt or any kind of issue. Just let me know in the chat. A line number is where we are filling a nan which we have in the total charges by a mean, but instead of a mean, I would request you replace by zero. Okay. What we have converted data type from objective to why we have. Okay, so since total charges charges in term of currency cannot be like in object or a categorical format. So that's why we need to change total charges in float. Every nan value will be replaced by a mean only. No, this is not like this. You cannot blindly fill nan value by mean. Why not in int then? Okay. So charges could be in like a decimal values. Whenever you receive any prepaid kind of a bill, so there you have some decimal value as well. So you don't get a exactly like in term of integer, like exactly like $10, $50 or $100 or like 1,000 rupee or 2,000 rupees. So there is always a some like a decimal value. So that's why we need to replace decimal value. Anything else? Okay. So as I mentioned, in the senior citizen, we have a value in term of a 0 and 1. So that's why it was in when we checked the data type. So we were receiving data types in 0 and 1, integer as an integer. But it should be a object. It should be yes and no. So we need to convert that particular senior citizen feature into object. Now we have senior citizen into object. Again, I have checked like like how many feature we have in continuous or in a numerical format, or how many of feature are in the categorical format. So I again use this that particular code, and now I'm getting what I wanted. So all the features are in correct format. Okay, now let's start from visualization. So in visualization, can anyone let me know like what kind of a visualization plots we have? Like how many kind of plots we have? Just ping like name of all the plots. Histogram, scatter plot. Okay, so can anyone let me know if we have a categorical data histogram work will there? Can we apply histogram on categorical data? Why? I'm getting most of as no, some as yes. So like why? There is what is the reason? Okay, yeah. Since categorical data have a categories, so histogram works on a continuous kind of a data, so we cannot use histogram there. In categorical data, we use count plot, bar plot, kind of a graph. But in continuous, we can apply a scatter plot or histogram. So this difference you should you should know what is the difference between which plot and where to use. So what I'm doing, I'm just checking the count plot, like what is the proportion of the male and female in the data set, and what is the proportion of senior citizens. So like as you can see, senior citizens are less in data set. So most of our non-senior citizen. I'm saying you should know like which graph where to apply. All graphs cannot be applied on all data types. Okay. So next thing is I'm checking count plot on partner. So here I'll not explain you every kind of a plot. I'm just letting you know like what kind of a plot you can perform. Like in bivariate, you can check, you can apply a count plot, but it is not like that. You cannot apply count plot on a multivariate. You can apply on multivariate as well. But I'm just letting you know the basic idea of like what kind of a plot we have. So in variate in univariate analysis, you can use a count plot and just check the pattern or a proportion or a ratio of the of that particular feature. Now, if you'll see, I have created few basic plots. Like there is a count plot in every column. So so there is nothing to explain. I have just created a plot, count plot. Okay. So next thing is, once you have done a univariate analysis, so in univariate you can plot a count plot, histogram, scatter plot, box plot, or like a number of plot we have. Just do a Google and try to apply as much as information you can extract. So EDA is just to know about the pattern of the data and in what kind of information we have in the data. So by EDA, by visualization, you will be able to easily. So there is no specific specific way to get that information. You have to apply a multiple plots, and then you will be able to extract the information from the data. I hope this is clear. Okay. So after univariate, there is a bivariate or okay. So for continuous data we have a histogram, so just apply a histogram on continuous data on 10 over. So there is the histogram on different continuous features. So if you'll see in the total charges is skewed data set. Like most of the total charges are ranging between 0 to 2000, and after 2000 to 10,000 there are few or less values, so that's why our data is skewed. Okay, so next thing is bivariate analysis. So here I am plotting a scatter plot like between two features. One is turnover and monthly charges. So as you can see, if turnover is less, so their monthly charges I have compared both the features with the churn with the target feature as well. So if you'll see there, if customer has joined newly, so there you will be able to see they churn. But if customer is old, they have been with us since like for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, so they are they are loyal customers to us, so they are not churning. Okay, so this is how you can perform n number of plot on different kind of features on turnover on total charges. Then there is monthly charges. I would recommend you uh, like apply all kind of a feature, all kind of a plot, like whatever knowledge you have. Try to try to extract the information as much as possible. Take a help from the Google. Now, once you have you perform the EDA, there is no missing value. There is no there is no what should I say, outliers. There is no noise in the data set. Then you start working on model building part, like model building. But to build a model, you should have a data in form of numbers. So to achieve that objective, we have some kind of a technique. Can anyone let me know like what kind of a technique we have to change text to numbers? Okay, label encoder. Yes, there is a name is label encoder, so that's why you are saying label encoder. But it is not a correct. So do not say label encoder directly. Blindly, you cannot give a label to each and every feature. So do you know what is the working behind label encoder? Like how it assigns the values to a text? Does anyone know what is technique behind this? Okay. So what label encoder does on the basis of alphabets. Let's suppose A comes first, so it will assign one, like if your text is starting from the A, so it will give one to that particular A. If your text is starting from B, so it will give two. So this is how the label encoder works. But let's suppose we have a gender in a in this data set. So on the basis of that particular information, F comes first. In gender, we have male and female. So F comes first. So F is equal to 1, and then M is equal to 2 will. So is this the correct way? I'm saying I'm giving a more importance to the male in comparison of female. So is this the correct way? Yes, correct. Most of answer as no. Who's are saying yes? They are wrong. I just confused you. Okay. So the answer, we should not blindly use the label encoder. On the basis of the feature nature. Let me give you one more example. So let's suppose you are predicting the salary of the employees and you have a data. Let's suppose you have a data. One is degree. One is degree, and you are looking to on the basis of degree. So you have 10th. Uh, eh, Degree should not be there. There should be education. 10th, 12th, master's, PhD. And another feature is like experience. Experience in term of 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is number is there. So let's suppose you need to change. Now you have to change education, since education is having a categorical variable values. So you have to change these categorical values into integer. Now let me know like what kind of encoding should be applied here. And you want to predict salary of employee. To predict salary, what kind of technique you will apply? Please answer. Ordinal, yes, ordinal. So we have two kind of technique, encoding technique. One is nominal, second is ordinal. Nominal means where you do not like there is no order. Like you cannot say like male is better than female or female is better than male while you are predicting salary. So in gender there is male and there is female. So there definitely you will use one hot and kind of a technique where you can change values in 0 to 1, 0 or 1. So this can be done there. But in case of like this kind of a feature, you cannot use 0 to 1 or or you cannot use label kind of encoder. So like definitely you have to use a label encoder because there you will get a value in terms of 1 2 3 4 5, but not on the basis of the alphabets. Like uh, M comes first, so you are giving a 1. But there what will happen, like what you need to do. So since PhD is like higher education, so there definitely you have to give 5 to like higher value to PhD. Then there is a master, then you will give a 4. Then graduation, for graduation you will do graduation for 3. For 12 you will give something 2, and for 10th you will give 1. Just let me know, is this the clear? Is this clear? Just let me know. Okay. So when you will handle that particular project, so I request you, instead of using directly label encoder, try to analyze the data, try to analyze each feature on the basis of your understanding and business domain understanding. Fill the categorical values. Okay. So once you have handled the categorical part, now if you will see, we have a features in integer or a float. So that's completely fine. After this, I'm checking, is there any like outlier? So as you can see in box plot, we do not have any kind of outlier. So that sounds perfectly fine. So then we are checking a skewness. There is no skewness. If there is a skewness, we need to handle. There are multiple ways to handle a skewness. Like you can use a reciprocal. You can use reciprocal kind of a approach, or square root kind of approach, or cube root kind of approach. So there are n number of approaches you can use. So on the basis of your like understanding or business understanding, you will use a log transformation, or a box kind of a transformation. So there are a number of transformation we have. You can use anyone which works fine on your data. So it's completely up to our data. You cannot use like I want to use log, so I'm applying log. So it's completely up to a domain knowledge. It's completely up to a business understanding. Okay. Next thing is checking a correlation between a feature. So for this, we are using this particular heat map. So if you'll see, there is some correlation between a features. Uh, is there any correlation between a feature? Can anyone let me know? Is there any correlation between features? Mm, yes, turnover is slightly correlated with the total charges. Yes, definitely that makes sense. If a customer is like old, so their total charges could be high. So that's why we are getting, as turnover is increasing, total charges is also increasing, which is making completely sense. So there is nothing to worry about. Okay. So now let's suppose you have 50 or 60 features. So you cannot use all the features in the model. So you need to do a feature selection. Does anyone know like what kind of a feature selection technique we have to select the best feature? Please let me know in the chat what kind of a feature selection technique we have. Grid search CV? Why? Why grid search CV? Now let me know what grid search CV does. See, also let me know you. My question is what kind of a feature selection technique we have. So again, business understanding comes into the picture. Let's suppose you have 50 or 60 features. So on the basis of the business understanding, you will select the relative feature first. Let's suppose you have 50 or 60, client will directly say you like we have these kind of a feature. So now on the basis of business understanding, you will select the feature. First, let's suppose you have selected 30 features out of 60 features. Now you will start to a EDA or other kind of techniques you will apply to extract the information to understand the data. Now you have done everything. Now you cannot give all the features to the model. They could be like they could impact negatively, they could impact positively. We do not know. So again, on the basis of different technique, we have several techniques like filter, wrapper, and embedded kind of a technique. Inside a filter, we do a univariate kind of a feature selections. There we use statistics kind of approaches like t-test, f-test, ANOVA, and correlation Pearson correlation coefficient. Like we check a correlation between the features. So and we check a covariance as well. So like how much is covariance between the features. So these kind of a technique we have in the filter where we do a univariate analysis or we do a univariate feature selection. Then After filter, we have a wrapper. Inside the wrapper, you have a major three kind of a feature selection technique, like forward, backward, and recursive. Then in the wrapper, we usually use a machine learning models to select the best feature. Yes, we can use machine learning model as well to select the best features. As like XGBoost does very well in feature selection. Like using XGBoost, we can select the best feature, like like on the basis of splitting criteria. Random forest also does a feature selection. So there is no any specific feature selection technique which you will apply. This is completely up to you. This is completely up to business understanding, which want you like which you want to apply, or which client want, like what kind of a result client want. So it's completely up to that knowledge. I hope this is clear. So I have just checked a correlation, like with the like what is the correlation with the target variable of all features. If you can see monthly charges and paperless billings and senior citizens, till gender I am getting a in positive relation. But after gender, so there is no positive relation. So there is a negative relation. So we have both, like it doesn't matter like whether it's a positive or negative impacting to a target variable. It doesn't matter, we need to keep both, like both kind of a feature. We have to use a positively impacted feature as well as a negatively impacted feature as. So this is one graph. After this, now we need to build a model. To build a model, we have to drop the target variable. After target variable, now if you see the target variable, in target variable one means churn. Yes, customer did churn. Zero means customer is still with us. So out of 7,000 records, 5,100, approximately 5,200 belonging to a zero category. So what do you understand by this? More than 75 or approximately 75% are belonging to zero. What do you understand by this? Am I audible? Please ping me in the chat. Okay. So if I am audible, then let me know what do you understand by seeing this information. Yes, data is imbalanced. More than 70 or 75% of customers, like you are getting two things from this particular visualization. One is 75%, approximately 75% customers are with you, but yes, 25% is a huge number which churn you in the past or in the last month. And there is like a possibility 2% or 5% will also churn in the next month. They like this could be. So this is not a good, but we will check that particular thing later. Now, since your data is imbalanced, so you need to balance that particular data. Yeah, this all comes under machine learning. This is all machine learning. When you apply a machine, when you say a machine learning, so these kind of techniques you have to apply. Okay. So since your data is imbalanced, so you need to make a balanced data set. So there you have a undersampling and oversampling kind of a approach. So can anyone let me know like what kind of approaches we have under undersampling and oversampling? So in oversampling, we have smooth and random oversampling, and we have Adasine, and we have Smotomic. So these are kind of a technique we have. So on the basis of like data, you can use anyone. Or if you don't want to use any, like you don't want to handle this kind of a like you don't want to handle imbalance here, so later on in the part of model building, so like XGBoost or tree based models handle like imbalance data very well. In XGBoost there is a parameter called is underscore balance, so which handles automatically imbalancing in the data set as well. So it's up to you which you want to do. I'm showing you like the smooth kind of a technique. So you can go with this particular kind of a technique as well. So what smooth does, it will make, like it will try to oversample the minority class. So minority class is here one. So it will try to make 5174 one class is more. Is this clear? Okay. Sir, how can imbalanced data affect the project if I do not handle the it? Okay, so let's suppose if you do not handle the imbalancing in the data set, so what will happen? So your model will be biased toward the majority class. So majority class, it will feel like whatever the records will come, it will feels that yes, this records will belong to the zero class. This will belong to the class. So that's why it's necessary or mandatory or inevitable. You have to handle a like imbalancing. Now you have created a like you have made a balanced data set. Now you need to apply a you need to you have to convert all the features into a same scale. Now, can anyone let me know like what is the reason of using scaling? If I do not use the scaling, then what will happen? No, error will not come. Let me know you. Let's suppose you have a two feature in your data set. One is age and second is height. Age is in years, like 25 years, 25 years or 35 years, and 55 years, and height you have in millimeter. Okay, so if I'm, let's imagine if a person height is in so the values would be like this. The values would be like this. When you will give this particular information to the model, so model will think height is important. So it will give the like more importance, more attention to that particular feature. So that's why we need to make a same scale for all the features to make a same unit. I hope this is clear. Okay. So to do this, we have standard scalar or normal standardization and normalization techniques. Once you can use anyone, like it's up to you. And after this, now you're ready. Your data is ready to give to the model. So there you can use like you can create a model using logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, like whatever you want, but you have to start from somewhere. So there is also two kind of a technique, like either you can randomly pick and choose, like I'll start from the logistic regression and then decision tree, then random forest, then one by one I'll check on all the features on all the models. Or you have a second approach as well, where let's suppose your data is linearly separable data. So once you have a linearly separable data, you will get to know by creating a plots and graph. If your data is linearly separable, then you will create a linear equation based model. So linear equation based model, we have a logistic regression, linear regression, support vector machine. So these kind of models you can use if your data is linearly separable. If your data is not linearly separable, then you should use a tree based approach. If your data have a outlier, so there you should use tree based approach. So this is the way to select the models. Now I have now I'm when I need to split the data into two parts for training and testing. So to do this, first I am using a I'm selecting a random state. Random state is nothing like two out of let's suppose you have 100 records in a data set and you want to give 80% to a training and 20% to a testing. So random state is kind of a shuffling. So first you will select first you will check the random state, which random state is working fine on our data set. Then after this you will do a train test split. Now you have a size of train and test. In the training, if you'll see in the train data set, we have 25, 25, like what is the size is there? X underscore train. This is the original size. Okay. So in testing, we have 2500, or in training, we have 7700 records. Okay, so now you have like train test split. Now you need to build a model. To build a model, you will use a machine learning model. So for which I have created a function like which is taking the model name as well as the training data for independent feature, and why we have a target variable. So this is nothing. This is just a function. So after creating this function, I'm using I'm creating a I'm checking the accuracy score as well as creating a confusion matrix and classification report. There I will get a precision and recall value and accuracy value. These kind of information I'll get. Then applying a cross validation. Then so this is the way. So let's start from the logistic regression. To logistic regression, I am giving three parameters. First is the model name, then second is a training data set for independent, and then the training data set for dependent for target variable. Now you have this information. Now can anyone let me know what should be the accuracy metrics for this particular problem statement? Like what is accuracy is here? Like can anyone let me know? Okay. Okay. Should I use accuracy here, or in classification? Should we focus on accuracy? Guys, let's take a break for 10 minutes. We will connect at 3:30 again. Till then, just try to I would request you just try to think why we should focus on accuracy or why we shouldn't focus on accuracy in classification. Like which one is the best metrics in case of classification? Guys, we will connect at 3:30. I hope uh, it is fine. Just ping me in the chat. Okay. So we will connect again at 3:30. Hello everyone, I'm back. Hope you all are back as well. Please ping in the chat. You are there. Okay. So I asked you before break, uh, we are receiving it almost 80% of accuracy. Is this the correct? Is this correct? We are getting a good accuracy. Is this the? I hope now screen is visible clearly. Maybe overfit. Okay. Any other thing? Okay. So basically, let me tell you, when we have a classification kind of a problem, so there we do not focus on accuracy because let me give you an example. If you have 100 records, out of 100 records in your training data set, 95 are belongs to a yes category, and and only 5 records are belonging to a no category, and you have created a machine learning model, or let's suppose you haven't created a machine learning model but just a random guessing. You are saying out of 100 records, these 100 records, all the records are belonging to the yes category. Now, what will be your accuracy here to yes class? So for yes class, your accuracy will become 95% by just random guessing. You have randomly guessed yes, all the 100 records belongs to yes category. So now only just by random guessing, you are getting a 95% accuracy. So that's why we do not rely only on the accuracy in classification. We have to focus on the other classification metrics like a recall, precision, F1 score. Okay. Up now the question has arisen like which one we should use, precision or recall. It's again up to the business like objective. Like what do you want? You want high precision. You want high recall, or false negative is important, or positive is important for us. So this information is comes from the business objective. Now, I just want to know, do you have an idea what is recall and precision and F1 score? Just let me know in the chat. Yes. So since all of you have like more, I'm getting most of as yes. So in case of this particular project, false negative is important. Why I'm saying false negative is important? Let me tell you. Let's suppose you have a customer which which will churn in future. So you are getting yes. Okay. So customer name is A. So A is customer, and this will churn in future. Actually, or this particular customer is churn in previous uh, data, or as per like in previous month. Actually, it was a yes, but your model is prediction is no. So why? Due to this particular situation, false negative is important when actually customer was supposed to churn, like customer was churn, but your model is saying no, it will not leave our services, it will not leave our company's services. Or so in this kind of a scenario, false negative is important, where Actually, customer will be belongs to the yes one category. Okay, but your model has predicted to that particular category as a no. So their false negative is important. Let me make an confusion matrix here. If I can, there is a pen. So let's suppose this is actual. Here you have a predicted class, like what your model has predicted. So in the top you have actually, in the left you have a prediction. So this called as true positive, this called as false positive. Sorry, my bad. How should we resolve that? This is actual. True positive, false positive. Again, I made a mistake. How to see the time? Let me. This is false positive. This is false negative. This is true negative. This is confusion matrix. So let's suppose customer will be churned in the next month and our model has predicted as zero. Model is saying that particular customer will not churn. So due to this, there is a high potential you could lose that particular customer. If you would have predicted correctly, let's suppose customer will definitely churn. The actual is one, and your model has already predicted one for that particular customer. So that means there is a true positive. So to not let the customer leave your services, you could give some discounts in the bills. You could give some additional benefits. Instead of 100 mbps plan, you could offer them a 150 mbps plan on same amount. So these kind of effort like you put, if you have a correct prediction. Am I correct here? So that's why in our this particular project, false negative is important instead of false positive. So here we will focus on recall and try to improve recall as much as possible. You will focus on recall instead of just accuracy. Neither you will go with F1 score. F1 score where let's suppose you have a problem where recall false negative and false positive both are important. Recall and sensitivity both are same. So let's suppose false negative and false positive both are important for you. So there we use F1 score. So that is the way to select the best confusion matrix or a matrix accuracy matrix in case of classification. I hope this is clear. Now similarly we'll try to make a classification model on the same data using different algorithms. Now I'm using a decision tree, then random forest, then support vector classifier, knn neighbors, xgboost, and in the end on the basis of in the end I'll perform a hyperparameter tuning on one of the model. I'm using a grid search cv. So in the grid search cv we have two kind of search grid hyperparameter tuners, like a grid search cv and stratified cross validation technique. So in usually like if you are using a grid search CV, so there you will have some parameters, so it will try to make all permutation combination of each parameters, and it will try to get the best accuracy out of all the parameters. Let's suppose using 10 like a random forest, sorry, 100 random forest and Guinea impurity as a like a criteria parameter. Maximum depth is 10, and on the basis of minimum sample split 5, I am getting a very good accuracy. So it will give us the that particular uh, uh, that particular combination, and we can save that particular model. So as you can see, like I do not recommend you to use the F1 score as your criteria to select the best model. I would recommend you use recall to select the best model. So once you have this, now why we require to create ROC curve and AUC curve. So let's suppose your model, like first let me tell you why we create a, like how we create a ROC curve. So to create a ROC curve, usually we require the two things. One is true positive rate, second is false positive rate. So positive rate you received from the confusion matrix, true positive rate as well you receive from the confusion matrix. True positive rate is nothing, it's a recall, it's nothing, it's a sensitivity. So our objective is try to achieve a true positive rate as much as possible. So using you all must be aware, like we have a zero point 0.5 as a like divider. When we say if we are getting a probability zero point 0.1 for any kind of any kind of a record, so we consider them as a zero. If we are receiving less than zero point 0.5, we say this particular category belongs to a zero category. If we are receiving greater than zero point 0.5, there we say that particular records belongs to the one category. So I hope this is clear to all of you. So instead of like this is our like this particular parameter has been defined by us. Like instead of using zero point 0.5, we can use zero point 0.4 as well, zero point 0.3 as well. So to select the best to select the best value of this particular like what should I say, I'm not able to recall the exactly what we should what we say this. Let me think it. Actually, I am not threshold. Yes, threshold. Correct. So basically, when we are not this threshold has been selected by us, zero point 0.5. Okay. So this could be a correct threshold or not. So instead of using directly zero point 0.5, so we use the ROC curve to select the best threshold. So here we have a true positive rate, here we have a false positive rate. So using these two values, we create a curve. So where we achieve the true positive rate as a higher, let's suppose you are using 0.45 on 0.45 as a true positive rate higher. So there you will create there this threshold you will be used as a final threshold. So this is the criteria to use the best threshold. Once you have once you have created a ROC curve, then you will get to know like which threshold is best for you, and then you will use that threshold as your final as a final threshold. Okay. So now using ROC curve, you compare a different model. Let's suppose you have created a decision tree, random forest, XGBoost. So using these kind of when you want to compare these like models, so there you use the AUC to compare a different model. So once you have a model like best model, so using a pickle class, you can save that model to use for future future prediction. I hope this is clear. If you have any kind of a doubt here, just let me know. I'll try to explain in in more depth deep. So if you have any kind of a doubt till here, just let me know. Okay. So you want okay, someone is asking about this particular confusion matrix here. So how do we know which model is correct? So on the basis of AUC, like first is the you need to select the accuracy matrix. You want to choose a recall or a precision. If you are getting a, if let's suppose you have choose recall as your classification matrix, so you will focus on the recall, and the later on you will create a ROC AUC curve, and on the basis of AUC, like AUC curve, you will select the best model. So if I talk about here, so here in the top you have a predicted class. This is your actual class. This is true negative. This is true positive. This is false negative. This is false positive. Other than that, do you have any kind of a doubt? How to deploy and commit to GitHub model? Actually, I would request you, or I would recommend you, instead of asking directly to me, just do Google and let try to find what could be a better approach for this, because data science is a kind of a project there you have to be in you have to be updated, you need to do a lot of Google, like what kind of a, you could get any kind of a problem, so you should be good in doing like you should be good in searching. So instead of asking someone, try to explore by yourself. Okay, so since I'm not getting any question, but how can we define best model by AUC or R? ROC curve doesn't give you best model. ROC curve gives you best thresholds. Best thresholds. AUC curves give you a better model. Like if you are getting a higher value for let's suppose logistic regression, so that means logistic regression is a good model. How do we select the project? Like what kind of a project? Now let me give you a brief what we just explored. So whenever you have any kind of a data science project, first is business understanding. You should have a business understanding. Try to understand the objective. Understand business understanding. First is business understanding. Second is data understanding. You should have a data understanding. Like a feature, you should know all the feature. Once you have the business understanding, data understanding, perform a EDA. In EDA, uh, build a different graphs and plots, and then you will be able to understand the data in more better way. In the second, handle noise in the data set. Noise could be in terms of missing values, in terms of like outlier, or in terms of any unnecessary text in the data set. Then feature engineering, like in feature engineering, we create some extra feature as per the business understanding. Then we do a select best feature, select best feature, select best feature. Then Uh, Guys, if you are pinging, like asking any kind of a question, I'm just gonna explain. Like I'm trying to answer your question after these steps. First, let me know you all the steps, then I'll take your questions. Select best feature, handle categorical data, handle imbalance, then scaling, feature scaling is there, feature scaling is there, feature scaling. In the last, model building, prediction in the last. Model after model building, accuracy. In the last, prediction. So this is the brief, like what could be the approach to handle a data science project or any analytics project. So this is just a brief, like these could be.
Hello, I am audible. Just let me know. Okay, perfect. So these could be the just like I have told you just a standard approach how to you handle how you can handle these kind of things. Apart from these steps, there are a number of steps and techniques to handle a data science project. So you can apply those kind of a technique and things as well. So it's up to you. It's up to a project. So I just given a brief like introduction, like how you can approach. So I hope this is clear. Now you can ask your questions. How can we analyze model is overfit or underfit? So it's like if you are getting a very good accuracy on a training data set, but once the validation or testing that comes, so your accuracy decrease drastically. So that means your model is overfitted. So there you have to handle overfitting. We will choose the project by ourselves. No, your SME will provide you projects along with the data set and objective, and they'll let you know like what you need to find there and what is your task. My question about project. Actually, I missed your question. Let me try to find your question. How many projects will be covered under this internship? There are like several projects, like more than 5 to 6 projects are there. Yeah, like more than 5 or 6 there will be. So do not worry about the number of projects. Guys, if you have any like particular doubt, so I would request you, instead of asking in this like apart from this project, if you have any kind of a doubt, so raise a ticket to your assembly, and your assembly will try to guide you on that particular question. If I'll try to explain expect from like apart from this particular project, so it will take time, and like other times will also be wasted, so I don't want that. So if you have any other query, just ask your SME. Please give some details of feature selection techniques. So I request you, instead of like I can let you know, but try to explore by yourself as well. But I'm letting you know like what kind of a technique we have. First is feature selection technique. Record video will be available, sir. Yes, you will get a recorded video as well. This session is recorded, so you will get this. You will get the recording as well. Feature selection filter. Filter technique. Second is wrapper. Inside this, there are several techniques like forward, feature selection, backward, and recursive. And inside embedded use machine learning models, machine learning algorithms. Do we need to provide recommendation in the last of the project? Like which kind of a recommendation? Actually, I didn't get your question. I think now I have cleared. I hope I have answered all the questions and explain you the project. Uh, you will get a project. Inside the project you will get the objective of the project, and there will be the problem statement, and there will be the data. Everything will be there, so you will get everything in a zip folder, and you just need to provide the answer with your Jupyter notebook. If you faced any audio issue, so I just can say sorry. Okay, so I have done from my side. If still you have any kind of a doubt, so just connect with your SME, raise a ticket. So that's all from my end. I hope I have explained very well. So that's all for the day. We will connect tomorrow again for next project. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for connecting.